Hello and good evening. After impolite exchange of words, rather harsh words, and heated arguments, the Istanbul talks between Pakistan and Afghanistan ended without any result. And as predicted by not only myself but many others like me, who had predicted that these talks would lead to nowhere, and because Afghan regime is just buying time, or probably they just want to convince the world that they are on the receiving end and Pakistan is an aggressor, although everybody in the world committee knows that Afghan regime is harboring terrorist groups that are active inside Pakistan, and those groups have camps, training camps, facilitators, funders, donors in Afghanistan. So this is not a news for me, or maybe not a news for you, but Pakistan's seriousness was evident. According to some sources, when Pakistan sent an officer of a major general rank, because he has first-hand information, he had credible evidence which was presented before the mediators and before Afghan delegation. I would just read out a few news stories, or that is one of the Azerbaijan's news outlet, and I would share, because this news outlet has shared very informative content with its viewers. It says that sources reported that when Afghan side raised the airspace issue, the Pakistani head of delegation General Shahab Aslam pointedly reminded delegates that responsibility of preventing use of territory for hostile acts lies first with the territorial state, that is Afghanistan. When urged by mediators to allow the Afghans to present their assurances, the Pakistani delegation emphasized that presenting unverified denials would not substitute for on-ground action. According to those present at the talks, General Shahab stressed that Pakistan had presented credible, corroborated evidence of cross-border militant activity, including movement, bases, and command links, and that Islamabad expected tangible, enforceable steps, not rhetorical assurances. Similarly, a high-placed source present in the talks, according to DND news agency, informed that on night of 27th and 28th October, negotiations continued for 18 long hours. Same sources confirmed that 3 times the draft was finalized by both sides to ensure that Afghan side this time sticks to the agreed draft. After the 3rd time, full agreement, General Shahab asked the Afghan side, in Islam it is said that anything that is said or committed 3 times is considered final. So is it now final from your side? He asked. Sources informed that Afghan side said yes, they agreed to this draft. However, most shockingly, immediately after committing to the final draft and before signing the agreement, Afghan side again went outside and had a phone call with Kabul, after which they again came back inside and backed off from the agreed final draft of agreement. So they were not ready to sign an agreement. They did not want to sign an agreement wherein they could guarantee that Afghan soil will not be used against Pakistan, and Afghan government will take, or Afghan regime will take action against all those, intangible action against all those who are involved in terrorist activities in Pakistan. So what next? Like I said, at one point of time, the mediators, when they backed off their promises, their agreement to sign that final draft, and when they backed off, the mediators, according to some reports and sources, they said, pointing towards Afghan delegation, may God help you and forgive you. So that means both Qatar and Turkey, they were not happy with the attitude of Afghan regime or Afghan delegation, because they knew they did not have a full consent of Afghan government, or they were not allowed to negotiate on behalf of Taliban regime, and that was in Kabul, and they were taking advices after every 15 minutes or so. So what next? Pakistani Defense Minister Khwaja Mohammad Asif has once again made it clear that Pakistan reserves the right to attack Afghanistan. On the other hand, Afghan media outlets and one of their state-owned or official television channel, Tulu, that means sunrise, has reported some sources, quoting some sources, that channel reported that if any part of Afghanistan is attacked by Pakistan, then Afghanistan will attack Islamabad. And I don't know, I'm not sure if they have means and means to attack, or if they have missiles to attack, or planes to attack. How will they do that? Yes, they can carry out terrorist activities anywhere in Pakistan if they continue to support TTP. Some observers believe that they are scared of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan militants, because they think that there was a time when they were fighting with US forces or NATO forces, TTP fighters joined their ranks, and now Afghan Taliban fighters are joining ranks of TTP for their terrorist activities in Pakistan. So it's back to square one. Like I said, if you haven't watched my videos, you can see my previous videos. I had predicted, and on the basis of Afghan government's record, because for the last 4 years, government of Pakistan has been telling them, has been asking them, requesting them to rein in all those terrorist groups, but each time they promised, but they did not keep their promises. So now I think if in coming days Pakistan strikes again, because the infiltration goes on, and if Pakistan decides to strike again, and I know this time Qatar, Turkey, or for that matter Saudi Arabia would not intervene on behalf of Afghan regime, because Afghan regime knows that they have found a new bad partner, India, and it's the Indian government which is probably preventing or telling Afghans not to succumb to Pakistani pressure, because India is supposed to help Afghan government, but India should keep in mind that if Afghans cannot be loyal to Pakistan, they cannot be loyal to any other country, especially Hindu-dominated India. Thanks for watching.